everybody. My kids decided to all sit in chairs today because they wanted to be like Mom. So we're sitting here very formally in our chairs, and we are going to sing hello to you, okay? Hello, children. Hello, children. Hello, children. We're glad you're here today. Okay, now it is almost Mother's Day. Did you know?
It is Mother's Day.
So I hope you've been thinking
Mother's Day.
about something special
It's
you can do for your
Mother's
mom.
Day.
It's almost Mother's Day, so
For church, I made a choir.
that's true. They did a special song for Mother's Day. Okay, so this is a book that I love called Love You Forever, and it is probably my favorite book about moms. I really love this book. Okay. It is by Robert Munsch. But a funny thing about Robert Munsch is we actually have another story that we do all the time by Robert Munsch, and that is The Paper Bag Princess. And that is a very, very silly story. And there is not that much silly about this book. A little bit, but not too much. Okay, here we go. I know, if you want to see, you got to sit on the couch. A mother had held her new baby very slowly, rocked him back and forth and back and forth. And while she held him, she sang, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. The baby grew. He grew and grew and grew. He grew until he was 2 years old. Like, Sophie is 2 years old. She's the last 2-year-old in our class.
I'm 8.
And he ran. Oh, Sophie is 8, just so you know. And he ran all around the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves, and he pulled all the food out of the refrigerator, and he took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Uh-oh, he's getting into trouble. 2 is one of those ages where we get into trouble sometimes.
Yep.
Sophie still pulls all the books off the shelves. Sometimes his mother would say, this kid is driving me crazy. But at nighttime, when that 2-year-old was quiet, you can see he's in his little bed, she would sneak in his room and crawl across the floor. And if he was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth and back and forth. While she rocked him, she was saying, yeah, he's little. I love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. And the little boy grew. He grew and grew and grew. He grew until he was 9 years old. And he never wanted to come in for dinner. And he never wanted to take a bath. And when the grandma visited, he always said bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. Look, he's making all this mess. Oh my goodness gracious. Look, even he has a soda under his arm that's dripping everywhere. Oh no.
He's little now.
But at night, when he was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room and crawled across the floor and looked over the side of his bed. And if he were really asleep, then she picked up that 9-year-old boy and rocked him back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And while she rocked him back and forth, she sang, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. The boy grew. He grew and grew and grew. He grew until he was a teenager. And he had strange friends. And he wore strange clothes.
What's that?
And he listened. That's his friend, and he's upside down listening. It's talking on the phone. I have no idea what he's doing. And he listened to strange music. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in a zoo. Kind of looks like a zoo.
It's not true.
But at night, when that teenager was asleep, The mother opened the door to his room and crawled across the floor and looked up over his bed. And if he was really asleep, she would pick up that great big boy and rock him back and forth and back and forth.
That's the little baby one?
Well, he was a little baby, but now he's a great big boy. And look, the mommy is peeking in. And she rocked him. As she rocked him back and forth, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I am living, my baby you'll be." The teenager grew. He grew and grew and grew. He grew until he was a grown-up man, and he left home and moved into a house across town. So this is the little boy's new house, because he's not a little boy anymore. He's all grown up. But look what his mom is going to do. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother got in her car, she's inside the car, and drove across town. And if all the lights were out in her son's house, she opened up his bedroom window and crawled. See, she had a ladder on top of her car, and she climbed up the ladder. That is a little silly. And crawled across the floor and looked up over the side of his bed. And if he was really asleep, he picked up that great big man and rocked him back and forth and back and forth. Does that look silly? She's old now, do you see? And he's all grown up, and she's still rocking him like a baby. And while she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I am living, my baby you'll be." Well, that mother, she got older. She got older and older and older. And one day she called up her son and said, "You'd better come see me, because I am very old and sick." So her son came to see her. And when he came in the door, she tried to sing the song. She sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always." But she couldn't finish because she was too old and too sick. The son went to his mother and picked her up and rocked her back and forth and back and forth, and he sang the song. "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I am living, my mommy you'll be." So do you see the grown man who was once the little boy? He's holding his mommy in his lap now. And when the son came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. And then he went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his arms and very slowly rocked her back and forth and back and forth.
He's a daddy.
Now he's a daddy. And while he rocked her, he sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be."
He a baby now?
Now he has his own baby. So this was the baby at the beginning, and he grew up, and now he has his own baby. The end. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. It is board time.
It is.
All right, so Sophia has the board, and Bethany has our pointer for today, which you may have seen during story time a few times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We'll make it big and bigger.
I picked a special letter for today. Sophie, what is our letter?
M.
M. What does M say?
We
M
put
says,
our chins on our lips.
Yeah, we put our lips together, huh? That's
like
right.
that.
I think Sophie has been around me teaching a few times. Okay, M says for mothers, because it's Mother's Day this weekend. Or mama. Some of you may have other names for your moms. Okay, what is our shape for today? Oh, we didn't sing that song. Yes, it's a heart. A heart because we love our moms. And let's sing the song about the letter M. M says M says Every letter makes a sound, and M says Okay, now if I point to this thingy, we can see it, and I say ma, I meant to say
Pointer.
straw. It's made out of a straw. Okay. Okay. If I point to this on my face and I say Moe's, I meant to say. If I point to this and I say Mord, I meant to say board. Good.
Mom, I
All right.
put the up the down.
No, we want to see the pattern. Now, Bethy did a Mother's Day pattern, she said. It was hearts and X's, like you would do O's and X's for kisses and hugs. And she wanted to do hearts for extra special love for moms today. All right, so heart, X, heart, X, heart, X, heart, X. What would come next? A heart. Good. Heart, X, heart, X, heart, X, heart, X, heart. X. Excellent. Now I have a biggish number here.
Teacher!
It has a 2. Sophie is right. What is this number here?
1.
A 1 and a 2 together makes the number 12. So our number for today is 12. All right, you ready to stand on up so we can do our number? Let's do it. Okay, come back, girls. We're going to do the number 12. Now, 12 is kind of a big number, so we're going to not do as many activities, okay? Are you ready? So we're going to clap 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to stomp 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to jump 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now I want my girls to come close here. We're going to do something different today with the number 12. Sophie, can you put up 5 fingers? That's one whole hand so they can see. Let me adjust this so you can see. Just one hand, not 2. Okay. Bethany, can you put up 7 fingers? So that's one hand plus 2 more. Now we're going to count all their fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 5 fingers and 7 fingers made 12 fingers. Now, are you ready? We're going to sing a few silly songs. We're going to stand up for the hokey pokey. All right. Uh-oh, you can't see my head. No head. Put your hand in, put your hand out, put your hand in and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Put your elbow in, put your elbow out, put your elbow in and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Put your foot in, put your foot out, put your foot in and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Put your head in, put your head out, put your head in and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Hair, put your hair in, put your hair out, put your hair in and shake it all out. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. All right, now we're gonna do some freeze dance. So remember, when I start the music, you can dance, 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 dance. And when I pause the music, you freeze. Okay? You girls ready?
Yeah!
Okay, I'm gonna put my phone near the computer so you can hear the music. Okay, dance, dance, dance. Keep dancing. Keep dancing.
Take out your fit.
Freeze! Oh, freeze! And go! Dance, dance, dance.
A little riddle and rhyme for your time on the trail.
And
A little riddle and rhyme
freeze.
for your ride on
Oops! I didn't put. Good, that was a real good freeze. Okay, let's try again.
the little riddle and rhyme for telling your tale. A little riddle and rhyme.
Oh, good. I didn't even say it this time. Okay, last one.
When you paddle for some metal and you settle on a kettle that'll level and dishevel your dime.
Sophie likes this thing.
The nettle for the rebel and that rebel for the devil. Each bring a little pebble and pop.
Good. Excellent. Okay, let's do a little song time. For our music today, I thought we'd sing songs that we already know that kind of fit with the theme so that you don't have to learn a whole new song for today. So we usually have sung Love Grows many, many times before. So I think you know this song by now, so please sing along, okay? Love grows one by one, 2 by 2, and 4 by 4. Love grows round in a circle till it comes knocking on your front door. One more time, okay? Love grows 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and 4 by 4. Love grows round in a circle till it comes knocking on your front door. All right, and we usually sing the rainbow song to go with that, right? So let's do it. Red and orange and pink and green, purple, yellow and blue. I can sing you a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow for you. One more time, huh? Those ones are so short. We always sing them twice. Red and orange and pink and green, purple, yellow and blue. I can sing you a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow for you. Okay, we're gonna finish up with We're a Family, right? Do you remember that one with the actions? So I'm going to review the actions a little first, and then we'll sing it together. Okay, so for family, you put your fingers together like this, and then you make a circle. We're a family, and we're a tree. Okay, so it goes, we're a family, and we're a tree. Then for roots, remember we turn our fingers upside down and go down like roots. And for history, we put our fingers like this and start in front of us and go behind, like we're thinking about a long time ago. So our roots go deep down in history. Then I want one finger on your head and one finger on your chin, and you're going to bounce them out like this. That's great-great-grandparents. And then me, you just point to yourself. So my great-great-grandparents leading up to me. And then all we need to learn is green, which is the G symbol. You just shake it, green. And then we go family, one more time, and tree. Let's try it. We're a family and we're a tree. Our roots go deep down in history. From my great-great-grandparents leading up to me, we're a green and growing family tree. One more time because we took all that time to learn the actions. Let's do it one more time. We're a family and we're a tree. Our roots go deep down in history. From my great-great-grandparents leading up to me, we're a green and growing family tree. Okay, guys, great singing. It's time for our last story. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, our last story for today is called The Patchwork Quilt. And I love this story. It has a lot of words though, so I'm not going to read them all because it's a little too many words for preschoolers. But it's about a little girl and her grandmother. Tanya, there's Tanya. Tanya sat restlessly by the window. For several days she had been in bed with a cold and she was anxious to get outside. "Mama, when can I go outside?" asked Tanya. "All in good time," said Mama. "I'm going to go talk to Grandma," Tanya said. "Oh, there's our grandmother. Grandma was sitting in her favorite spot, the big chair in front of the picture window. In her lap were scraps of material of all textures and colors. Tanya recognized some of them. "What you gonna do with all that stuff?" Tanya asked. "Stuff? These ain't stuff. These little pieces are gonna make me a patchwork quilt." Tanya leaned against the chair and rested her head on her grandmother's shoulder. Just then, Mama came in with 2 glasses of milk and some biscuits. Mama looked at all the scraps. You can see there's scraps there, there's scraps over there. And she said, "Grandma, I just cleaned this room, and now it's a mess." "It's not mess, Mama," Tanya said through a mouthful of biscuit. "It's a quilt." "A quilt? I can get you a quilt," Mama said. Grandma looked at her daughter and then turned to her grandchild. "Your Mama's right. She can get a quilt from any department store, but it won't be like my patchwork quilt, and it won't last as long either." "Grandma, I'll help you make the quilt," said Tanya. Oh, that was so nice of her, to offer to help her grandma. "Thank you, honey. Let's get started now. We'll be finished in no time." Grandma held Tanya's close and patted her head. "It's gonna take a while to make this quilt. Not a couple of days or even a week or even a month. A good quilt, a masterpiece, it's gonna take a year at least." "A year!" shouted Tanya. "I can't wait that long." Grandma laughed. "A year ain't that long, honey." "I'm gonna make a masterpiece," she murmured. "We'll have to get you a new pair of jeans. These ones are rags," Mama said when she was hanging up the wash. "Look, see, Tanya's brother has all these holes in his pants. Jim is miserable. They're his favorite pair of pants." So Grandma takes them and she cuts a few squares out and saves them for her quilt. The arrival of autumn meant school and Halloween. This year Tanya would be an African princess. She danced around in long flowing robes Mama had made and had gold bracelets and earrings. Grandma cut some squares of these leftover fabric too. The days grew colder. Look, snow came, and finally the snow came. Tanya and Ted and Jim all went outside to play. Even Mama and Papa were ready to go outside. "I don't like leaving Grandma in the house by herself," Mama said. "I know she's lonely." "Grandma's not lonely," Tanya said. "She has her quilt. The quilt and her are telling each other stories." Mama glanced at Tanya. "Telling each other stories?" "Yep. Grandma says a quilt never forgets." When they went inside to get warm, Tanya's mom went over to talk to her mother. That's Tanya's grandmother. See, the mom and the grandma are talking to each other. And Grandma is telling Mama all about quilts and how this quilt is going to be so special. From that moment on, both women spent their winter evenings working on the quilt. Mama did the cutting while Mama did the sewing while Grandma cut the fabrics and placed the scraps in a pattern of colors. Even while they were cooking and baking all their Christmas, you can tell it's getting to be Christmas time at their house, Christmas specialties. There was so much singing and laughing at Christmas. All of Grandma's sons and daughters and nieces and nephews came to pay their respects. There was a Christmas tree with lights shining brightly, and the room with sparkling colors. Later, when everyone got home, Papa said he never felt so much happiness in the house. And Mama agreed. So they must celebrate Christmas at their house, huh? Oh, but the next morning when Tanya came downstairs, Papa was fixing pancakes. "Is today a special day too?" asked Jim. "Where's Mama?" asked Tanya. "Grandma is not feeling well," Papa said. "She is very, very sick." It was nearly a week and a day before New Year's. And before the children were permitted to see their grandma, she was so sick they wouldn't even let them go in her room. "We miss you, Grandma," Ted said. "And your muffins and hot chocolate," added Jim. Grandma smiled. "Your quilt misses you too," Tanya says. Grandma's smile faded from her lips. "My masterpiece," Grandma sighed. "It would have been beautiful, almost half finished. But she's too tired to work on it now because she's so sick." "So what's Tanya doing and her mommy?" "Look, they're going to work on it together." New Year's Day was the beginning. After the dishes were washed and put away, Tanya and Mama examined the quilt. "You cut more squares, Tanya, while I'll stitch some patches together," Mama said. Tanya snipped and trimmed the scraps of material till her hands hurt from the scissors. Mama watched her carefully to make sure the squares were exactly the same size. See, she has to be so careful, because if they're not exactly right, then the quilt ends up being a really strange shape. Alright, let's see what happens. She's sneaking into her room. Let's see what she's doing. Every day, as soon as she got home from school, Tanya worked on the quilt. Ted and Jim were too busy with their sports, and Mama was looking after Grandma. So Tanya worked alone. Do you think she's such a kind girl? I do think so. That's why I love this story. For days, the quilt lay on the back of the chair. No one knew why Tanya had stopped working. Tanya would sit and look at the quilt. Finally, she knew something wasn't missing. Someone was missing. And look, she's sneaking in and getting one square of the old quilt. February and March came and went as Mama proudly watched her daughter work on the last few patches. Grandma had been watching too. The old woman was getting stronger as the months passed. Once she was able, Papa would carry Grandma to her chair by the window, and she would watch Tanya work. "Yes, honey, this quilt's nothing but a joy," Grandma said. One June day, Tanya came home to find Grandma working on the quilt again. "Grandma!" Tanya shouted. Grandma looked up. "Hush, child. It's almost time to do the quilting on these patches. But first, I need some special finishing touches." "There, it's done," she said. And Mama helped Grandma spread the quilt full length. Oh my, look at that beautiful quilt. And think about it, they had to cut all those squares and sew them all together, and then they put a backing on it. It's a lot of work, and they all worked together. Nobody had realized how big it had gotten or how beautiful. Reds, greens, blues, golds, all shades, lights and dark blended out throughout the quilt. "It's beautiful," Papa said. He touched a gold patch and looked at Mama and remembered. Jim remembered too. There was his blue and red t-shirt. There was Tanya's Halloween costume, and there was Grandma. Even though her patch was old, it fit right in. So there's some fabric from each of their clothes from special occasions so that they can remember the year and what each patch meant. But this is special. Look. They all remembered the past year, and they especially remembered Tanya and all her hard work. So it had been decided. Carefully in the right corner, it says, "For Tanya, from your Mama and Grandma." How special is that? Anyway, the end. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, guys, it's time to say goodbye here in my kitchen office. So let's sing goodbye, and I'll see you soon, okay? Goodbye, children. Goodbye, children. Goodbye, children. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.